Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at Orange County and seeing how much it has outperformed California as a whole, and also compare it to its more popular county in terms of population, size, number of cities, Los Angeles County. And we're going to see how much more Orange County has outperformed these areas and likely why this trend is going to continue. If you're new to the channel, my name's Ian Phillips. I'm a realtor here in Orange County, and I'm uploading weekly videos, diving into the market, talking about the data, and kind of seeing where things could go from here, and also giving you an idea of why certain things are happening. So let's get straight into it. So Orange County, brief update, median sold price has jumped to $1.267 million. Median days on market is 14. Sold to list price is a little over 100%. So right now, homes on average are selling for above what they are listed for. Month supply of inventory is 2.2, and this has put Orange County in a seller's market. And we'll take a look at the other areas and see whether or not they're sellers or balanced markets. So let's look at the chart, because this is where this is our main focus for this video. So Orange County is this blue line, California is this orange line, and the United States is a yellow line. We don't really need to see the US for the purposes of this video. So as you can see, really going back to 2008, Orange County and California have kind of had the same amount of appreciation in terms of percentage. You can see their lines have tracked very, very closely. And this is really up until here, April 2023. But this is interesting because Orange County has kind of just tracked with California. So as California has seen demand, as California has seen appreciation, Orange County has just tracked that. And that would kind of make sense at a state level when you have the county also sort of tracking that data. And you can see here in 2022, when the Federal Reserve started raising interest rates to combat the 9% inflation that we were seeing in the economy, both areas had a pretty decent correction. Orange County dropped from a little under 1.1 million down to a little under 1 million. California went from $800,000 down to $730,000. So both areas had a pretty decent correction. It would make sense. The entire country had a correction, some places more so than others. But after this correction, you can see California has kind of recovered. I mean, prices now are $780,000, $784,000. So a little lower than where they were at the peak in 2022 by about $10,000. But Orange County has made new all-time highs. In fact, the county recovered significantly quicker than California, and ever since then has just carried on going up. You can see the median list price is now $1.2 million at the county level in Orange County. And California hasn't even hit 800,000. So why has this happened? Well, Orange County has 6 of the 10 safest cities in the entire state of California, and some cities have top-rated public school districts. And we're starting to see business headquarters move over to Orange County, specifically in places like Irvine, and as a result, that has attracted an enormous amount of jobs. So it would make sense why demand here has been outperforming the state as a whole. But then you say, what about Los Angeles? Los Angeles County is its neighbor. Maybe that has also been outperforming California. And let's take a look right now. So you can see the median sold price at the county level is $900,000, 20 days on market. On average, homes are selling for what they're listed for. Month supply of inventory is about 1 month more than Orange County. Still in a seller's market, but a little closer to that balanced market. And this would kind of make sense. Los Angeles County is significantly larger than Orange County, has a lot more homes, a lot more diverse cities compared to its neighbor. But Los Angeles County is actually below its peak in 2022. You can see it's 880,000 back in 2022, and now it's sitting at 870,000 for the median home on market. So Los Angeles County is pretty much tracking what California is doing as a whole. You can see even down to this little correction here that happened at the end of last year. You can see Los Angeles County basically tracked what California did. Now you might say, well, potentially it's not fair to compare Orange County versus Los Angeles County because of the size difference, because of how many more cities are in Los Angeles County, but let's just compare Los Angeles, the city, and we can see what's been happening over here. Median sold price 1.185, days on market 25. On average, homes are selling for 0.5% below what they're listed for. Month supply of inventory 4.4, and it's kind of approaching that balanced market territory. But what's the chart doing? Wow, look at that. Los Angeles County peaked in 2022. By the way, this median sold price is for the most recent month. Same with both areas. Los Angeles County peaked in 2022 at 1,033,000. Where is it at now? 930,000 for the average home on market in Los Angeles, the city. So that is quite a difference. So median home values here have dropped by about $100,000. So Los Angeles, the city, is also not tracking California anymore. And you can see it did have this separation here where Los Angeles was pretty much in line with Los Angeles County, this orange line. And in 2011, the city massively outperformed the county. And now they are sort of getting back to equilibrium, which is actually very, very interesting. We can take off countrywide here. So Los Angeles, the city, has dropped by $100,000 since 2022, while California, this yellow line, is pretty much back to where it was in 2022. Los Angeles County pretty much back to where it was in 2022. So Los Angeles County and California are almost identical in terms of percentages, but Los Angeles has broken away from both of these trends. And that is very, very interesting because when you compare Orange County, which we saw has been massively outperforming both of these areas and state level, with the median home value sitting a little over $1.2 million, up from the peak in all of these markets in 2022, Los Angeles hasn't even gotten back to the levels it saw in 2022. In fact, home values here, 930,000, are roughly the same as when they were in November 2021. So the market here has given up, has seen 5 years of no appreciation, which is very rare for a housing market. Now, why is this? Well, Los Angeles has seen a pretty large exodus in the film industry, and that was one of its that was a large percent of people who were making a large sum of money and people who were in the market buying a home, because the median home value here is higher than a lot of the state and a lot of the country, of course. So the film industry decline appears to have impacted the housing market in LA. Now, whether or not this particular trend continues, where we see median home values in Los Angeles continue to get to that equilibrium of Los Angeles County, would actually be very interesting, because that would have reverted back to the trend that we saw in 2011. So will this happen? Obviously, we're going to need probably the rest of the year to figure that out, to see if this trend continues. But I find this very interesting, that you have Orange County, $200,000 higher over the last 4 years, and then you have LA, the city, down by $100,000. Very, very interesting. And just briefly, we can look at San Diego County just to see what this has been doing. I do believe it has made a new high since 2022. I do believe it is outperforming Los Angeles. Hold on 5 seconds while this loads. Yes, San Diego County has made a new high, peaked at $920,000 in 2022, and is now at $940,000. So not much of a new high, but still outperforming California. And San Diego, the city, just to compare. San Diego, the city, hasn't really moved a whole lot. 996,000 for the median home value, and back in 2022, it was 990,000. So pretty much recovered. But Los Angeles, perhaps I will make a separate video on Los Angeles just to dive into a little more detail. But it is very interesting to see how much more Orange County is outperforming California and its neighboring counties. But that's it for this video. If you liked it, subscribe for more. Check out the link in the description where you can browse for homes, get a free home valuation, or contact me directly if you're looking for a realtor in the area. I'll see you in the next video.